This is a really important tip. If it's low, you can't create tilt. My hands are really like, what are they doing?
Oh, they're really still. Nice.
Wow.
Oh, thank you, Lou. We've invited Pro Sangman Han again from the channel Geolja Golf. His driver is 336 meters. Yes, his maximum distance is high, and he hit it over 300 meters with a 3-wood last time. He hit 306 meters with a 3-wood. Yes, so I'm going to try to get a driver S for this short ranking. Yes, I'll do my best to help you today. Thank you. You have
too much backspin right now. That's
right. As I mentioned earlier, you become an iron. Since you're hitting too downward, this creates a slanted impact line, which inevitably leads to a lot of backspin. To help you understand this motion a little better, I'll use billiards, which I don't like, to help you with the ratio. What's a downward strike? Massie. Yes, you're hitting with a Massie. Do you
understand?
Yes. Then what happens to the ball? Oh, it's better. It has to be reduced. From my perspective, you can hit the ball with a club speed of 2.30 or more, but this Massie isn't a swing style that swings downward from above, but rather an upward strike from below. Most amateurs don't like high trajectories. They think high trajectories automatically reduce distance. But that only applies when hitting downward. The reason I'm not tall and my physical condition allows me to hit farther is because I launch the ball quite high, increasing the time it takes to land compared to other people. However, because I can hit upward from below, the ball has a high trajectory, but the backspin is low. That's why I hit the ball like a cannonball, keeping it alive. So, the part where you need to change now is the downswing. And there are some people who hit downward and far. For those people, I tell them that they need to have a speed of at least 70. It can happen. Swing pro can happen too, but realistically, when you go out on the field, the biggest variable behind this spin is the wind. If you hit 4,400 like this with the wind blowing like this, you can't even hit 197. You'll just go 160, 150. That's because the wind will cause it to drop. So, let's take a look at the backswing. Let's take a look at the downswing. The downswing is like this. If you look at the swing croning, what happens to both sides? It's horizontal. This is the iron angle. When you lift the backswing and come down the next swing, the weight shifts to the left, but only the lower body. So, when the lower body is pushed like this, the head remains on the right foot. Now, with this shape, the right shoulder is lower than the left, and this downward movement of the head becomes the actual downswing line. So, when we look at players, many of them hit the ball like this, with the shaft to the right when they drive. Look at Rory McIlroy, for example. That's right. So, during the downswing, this tilt in the body is called tilt. But swing pro doesn't have tilt. Without tilt, the impact line is constantly transmitted steeply. Do you understand?
To create this tilt, let's take a look at the backswing. Let's
go down the downswing, shall we? Right? When you come down like this, you want to minimize hip turn. Like this, that's the feeling you should get. That's what we call a vertical drop. I'll show you first. The conditions that tilt can and cannot create for a downswing are that when you downswing from the top of the backswing, your body rotation proceeds. What happens to your shoulders in this situation? They're horizontal. Then, as the head follows, it strikes downward. This creates a downswing line, and here it is. Now, the left side is rising and the right side is lower. This shape is tilt. To create this tilt during the downswing while holding this backswing, your arms need to come down beside your body, not forward. This shape needs to be created. Then, using the wrist rotation, you create an upward strike, hitting the ball upward. Let's try it. Okay, let's try the backswing. Let's go down the downswing. Right? But here, your head is a little more to this side. There are so many terms like upper and lower body separation, right? At this point, if you move your lower body, you'll be pushed to the left, but your head will still be weighted on the right. This is the separation of the upper and lower body. Then, the wrist rotation comes in like this. And the release isn't the end of the swing, but the movement after impact. You need to practice a lot of upward swings, feeling like you're moving upward from the release to the follow-through. Then, you'll be able to comfortably hit 1,300 meters. And I think you'll also be able to significantly reduce your concerns about backspin. You need to be able to let go of the feeling of a downward swing. Okay? If you just create a tilt shape with the driver, you'll be able to create a touch you've never felt before. Top of the backswing, downswing. Don't let your hands drag you here. Then, you won't have the head control you had before. So look at your wrists in this downward position. There's really no time for your wrists to change, right? It should be like this. Okay.
Just hit 2 more, and I'll show you how to easily control the head. Okay, first, let's focus on the shape of the downswing.
Okay, let's take a look at the spin. Wow, it's significantly reduced.
Yes, that was a bad touch. But now that the spin has decreased, how does this affect the ball? It went up to 206 meters. But let's take a look at the swing video. If you look straight ahead, compared to the previous swing, what's happening with the shoulders as they come down? There's a high and low point, right? When the 2 lines are pointing horizontally, that's the point of the downswing. If you look at this, the shoulder high and low point has already been created. And now, you're ready to hit upward. But if you look at the swing crow here, keep pulling. You shouldn't be pulling here at this point in the downswing, but rather when the head comes in, you should be hitting the ball. When you come into impact, the head keeps failing to go over and is being pulled.
Oh, you're not rotating. Yes, rather than saying you're not rotating, it's just that the timing of the rotation is late. So, I'll explain this. For now, rather than practicing a few more downswings, I'll focus more on tilt. Yes, in the downswing, when you
were just doing your empty swing, you probably felt it because you were trying to keep your head to the right. You said the release follow-through rises slightly after impact, but earlier, when your shoulders were level, it would
drop or go to the side. So, those who hit too downward without this tilt have a characteristic of not being able to follow through with the release. Those who hit the club too close to the ground have a characteristic of not being able to follow through with the release after impact. So, if you hold it like this,
consider this tilt motion essential.
Got it? Oh, the head felt incredibly heavy just now.
The spin is definitely decreasing compared to before. Yes, I'll show you how to reduce it even more. Now, when we look at the face, the outside part is called the toe, and the inside part is called the heel. We use our feet to swing. Swing crew is diligently developing this tilt shape. Because the hands keep dragging, the heel often impacts before the toe. This prevents face control and results in an open face. So, when we hit irons or outside clubs, the heel often comes in first, which is a shank, right? It's
a bit off. Yes, that's because the hand post is too excessive. So, instead of rotating forward at the top of the backswing, the body moves forward, pushing the waist and moving the club head. Now, we're going to reverse this and
make the toe come in first.
Yes, the toe comes in first. Yes, top of the backswing. Should we go down the downswing? Okay, the toe comes in first. No, I'll stop at impact.
Right. So, how's it going?
Yes, lofted. That's pretty good. This
feeling works with irons and outside clubs alike. Downswing, create a tilt, and then move to the toe. Yes. Then, the loft will automatically occur. If this goes well, a draw curve will be created, creating a really cool draw ball.
Oh.
But I'll keep the club head in this position and, after impact, release the club head to raise the ball's trajectory a bit. And I'll also try to lengthen the time it takes to land.
Yes.
This is the kind of data you need.
Oh, great. I've got a
spin of 2,400. Yes.
Yes, I wish I could always do this. There are different
swing styles, like a side blow, an upper blow, and a next blow, but some people are good at all of them. I think Swing Crow has been wearing clothes that don't suit him. Especially, there are probably a lot of people who stay at this speed.
This is what I'm trying to change. So, don't think downward strokes are everything. Don't think the next blow swing is everything. By tilting, you should be able to create a solid upward stroke and upper blow. And the slice keeps getting too severe. The touch isn't very good. If so, it would be good to practice toe first, where the toe comes in first.
Yes, it feels like the head is bouncing a little, just now, yes. So, if you try to turn the toe instead of dragging it, the wrist rotation will occur naturally. So, there's no tilt right now. It should be like this. Keep thinking about the downswing, right? Yes.
I
think I was a little disappointed with my face control. Still, the backspin is reduced. Yes, as I mentioned earlier, if you translate this into a billiards ratio, it's correct. What happens then? It becomes a bonus for the GI gully. And this becomes a good miss.
Yes, what I always talk about in my lessons is increasing the number of good misses, so that the missed shots don't become the worst, but rather create good misses. And to achieve this kind of situational impact, the tee needs to be high.
I actually always use the low tee. This is a very important tip. If the tee is low, you can't create tilt. That's because there's no space to raise the tee. So, you have to practice tilting and hitting upwards with a high tee. What happens if I hit downwards with a high tee? It'll
immediately show up, right? You'll hit a bunker shot. Oh, that's high-ing. Then, how can you check yourself? So, as a basic tee-off guide before golf, I always give you at least 50 millimeters, and those who have consistently taken lessons from me can hit 55 to 60 millimeters. Oh, really?
Yes, that's why my mindset changed, because when I went out to the long-distance driving range, I saw that long-distance driving range players hit 80 millimeters or 90 millimeters.
Oh, really?
Yes, but how can you hit downwards with an 80 millimeters or 90 millimeters? The secret to a long-distance hitter's swing is to control the amount of backspin while hitting upward from the bottom and increasing the time in flight.
I couldn't even hit 40 when I was 40.
I mentioned earlier that I had a long slump with my drive. At that time, my tee was 35. So, I was completely driving the driver into the next block. From my perspective, I made a huge mistake thinking that was a low-pitched hit.
Because it kept going down, I kept pressing down and hitting down, and the ball kept slumping and slumping, which reduced my carry distance. And since Korea is 70% mountainous, there are a lot of mountainous golf courses. Especially on these uphill courses, the moisture content of the toothpaste is quite high. It's very inconvenient because there's no time. But even on those holes, people who are accustomed to teeing low can never tee high. Then, the ball catches and gets stuck in the ground. So you can hit the ball from there. I think I'm hitting it a little wrong right now, right? I think a high tee makes you feel psychologically unstable. Now.
Yes. But if you go on a round with me, you'll probably be surprised. The guests keep going. It's
a little too much.
Yes, but even I, during my player season, tried to hit the ball low somehow. That was the path to a slump. I kept hitting the ball downward to hit it low, so I ended up
hitting it high. So, let's try this again. I'll lift the backswing and then come down. If the downswing was originally coming down well, it would have been a vertical thrust. Your hands would have already moved to the left of your navel. If the downswing is clearly established, they should be here. So your hands aren't even near your navel right now, but to the right of your right thigh. That way, from here, the club head will change to the toe, creating an upward strike from the bottom up. Then I'll show you. The
previous swing came in like this. I
think so. This has to be a downward strike. Now, this motion is upward. Yes. This motion should be like this. You can hit it like this, with the feeling of coming in from the toe. Yes. The tee is a bit high, right? Yes, it's quite high. Okay.
Let's lift the backswing and lower it. Okay, it's already too much for you, right? Right? That's right. Yes, that's right. From there, the feeling of coming in from the toe. Right, yes. Oh, it's not 230, it's 240, even 250.
Oh, really? You
have that speed. You've swung it with CEO Tuck Chili, right? It's bright, right? But now it's raining so much that you can't go out. Since you're going for a downward strike, keep an eye on the tee swing.
Yes. The
next swing was good, but
yeah, the head got dragged again. And the rotation isn't working like this.
Yes, so you can think of the opposite of rotation as dragging. It might be a bit difficult, but actually, if you watch the video, you'll see that at the top of the backswing, there's a weight shift here, right?
Yes, you should. Think of it as just pushing the lower body.
Then, your head should still remain on the right foot, right here. So, this downswing is good. The downswing, right here, it's a downswing. You haven't returned to your belly button yet. But you're continuing to drag from here. Yes.
Oh, I should have gone back now. Oh. I need to go back from here. Oh, let's practice this, like before, with the stick. Yes. Oh, yes. I'll show you first. From the top of the backswing, when you come down like this, make sure your shins don't come in past your thighs. Just do this here. Oh, in that position. If I give you a mission, make this sound like I do. Yes. Do you hear a sound? No, no. That's why the loss of the non-gut is too great. I'll hear the vaccine. Shall we go down next? Okay, let's take a look here. Stop. You can do it all the way up here. Look. The stick is tensioned right now, and you can
hear the wind.
Just like before, try dragging it here. How does it sound? Different? Yeah. I think that's what I was trying to do here.
Right, yeah, but then the ball starts off, and you lose face control.
The face is open. Yeah, let me show you briefly. You'll understand when you see it. So, my feeling here and my actual swing are different. When I come down with the vaccine and the next swing, what are my hands really like? They're really still. Yeah, I'm
not bringing it here and hitting it. Yeah. That's
gentle. Oh.
Yeah, but it's also amazing how that naturally flows. That's right. There. The swing croon is already there. But that's how everyone does it. Yeah. You use that wrist rotation to create shaft tension and tilt. You create tilt and then turn from there. Bam. That's right. So, you try to increase your swing speed incredibly quickly. Push your waist during the downswing, create tilt, and rotate your neck. Right. That's the feeling. So, if you think about rotation, there's no tilt rotation. Tilt rotation. But the important thing is that tilt must be created to create space for rotation. Because if tilt is created, it creates a vertical drop to the side, so it can't enter your body, right?
Okay. That's where it is. It's unnatural, right? Why? Your left arm is holding it in right now. Your left arm is like that. It feels like it's going over. Yes. It came in quickly. Yes.
Nice. Wow. That's it. This is the perfect rotation timing.
Thank you.
240. Thank you, sir. I've got one.
The
upward strike is definitely created, so the backspin has definitely decreased. Even our long hitters say the ideal amount of backspin is in the high 1000s to 2000s. That's how the ball can come alive.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, your wrist timing was really good. Do you also give private lessons, sir? Yes, if you come to my channel, you'll see my personal number, so I mainly do private lessons now. Oh, I see. Yes.
I would appreciate it if many people contacted me. Please subscribe and like a lot. Yes, this was Pro Sangman Han. Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you. Just remember that moving your body slightly while shaking is the basic upper body and arm technique. The same goes for your left hand, with your body forward. I think I'm the only pro golfer in the world with a Guinness Book of World Records, right?